It's a beautiful thing to allow God to work with me in a way as I never know what I'm going to talk about. It's just at the now present time, go with the flow. So here we go. And it is basically almost 15 minutes to 4 a.m. And it just came to my spirit to share what happened within the last couple of weeks. And I mentioned it before in previous videos regarding the alarm on my car just all of a sudden started going off. For about 5-6 years, however long I've had that car, I've never really heard the alarm go off before until within the last 2-3 weeks. It was going off randomly, just nothing triggering it. It would go off in the wee hours of the night, in the bright afternoon, prime time, whatever the case. It had no specific reasons to go off. It would just go off. I would just get my button on my keychain and push it to turn it off. Hours later or the next day, it goes off again. Sometimes it will go off back to back to back when nothing was triggering it. Days, a week or so go by with this cycle happening over and over till finally I got tired of pushing the button over and over. So I decided to disconnect the battery. And I went to driving the truck. I went to driving my truck for a few days until I find out, why does my car alarm keep going off? I looked through the manual of the car and I couldn't find any reasons. It wouldn't give me any reasons. So after a couple of days of me leaving the battery disconnected, I disconnected the positive cable to the battery for a couple of days. I let it go. And then again, after a couple of days, I go back downstairs to reconnect the battery. The minute I reconnected it, bump, 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 bump. So I just disconnected again, stayed driving my truck a few more days. So I would assume the car had been disconnected about a week. So I go and reconnect it again. This time I haven't heard anything. It's been about 3 days. I've been driving the car and it hasn't been going off. So I'm praying, Hatchet, stop. So I pray that whatever reason it was going off, whatever was going on, I pray that that problem is solved. Now, here it is going on 4 o'clock in the morning. As I'm laying here, I wasn't asleep or anything, but nothing was on my mind. I wasn't thinking on anything. And then it just came to my spirit, share this experience and the revelation. When God told me a few videos back that when the alarm started going off, to let people know he's setting off an alarm. He's setting alarms. Alarms are being set off. And by my alarm on my car keep going off, I had to keep asking Father, what am I not receiving? What haven't I got revelation on yet? What don't I have clarity on? What am I not getting? What am I not overstanding or understanding? What message am I not receiving? And it just came to me now what the revelation, why alarms are being set off in people's spirits. God is setting off alarms in people's spirit. And the reason he's setting alarms to let us know it is urgent, it is priority, it is of an emergency, that we disconnect. We have to disconnect and go within and have that quiet time. It's like this is what God has been speaking through me to speak for a while now. For us to intentionally take time and go within our quiet space so God can communicate with us and tell us something. Speak to us what only ourselves and our Creator, He knows what needs to be said to us. And we need to know what is being said to us. But this is going to have to take us disconnecting from the outside, disconnecting from the wild thoughts or just randomly thoughts, just fleeting thoughts, fleeting ways of our lives, of our character, whatever God is calling us to disconnect from, whatever sources that is stopping us from having that one-on-one intimacy, quiet time with our Creator, with the Spirit of God with us. Whatever is stopping us from having that intimacy, God is setting off alarms. This is mandatory. This is needed. This is how we're going to be life, a living vessel, and not be the walking dead. God is calling us to be living vessels, vessels that are being used by the Creator, by God. And when I reconnected the battery the first time, that's obviously saying maybe a lot of us are not being detached long enough. Some of us need to spend more quality time. Some of us need to have more deep calling deep time. Quality time. We may be calling ourselves going in time spent with our Father, with the Creator, but is it quality time? You could be in meditation, but is your mind still roaming? Have you let God talk to you, or were you the one doing all the talking? Did you sit back and let God give you something to walk away with? Or did you just go and vent and get up and go? Just sit and listen. God is calling us to listen. He has more to say to us than we have to say to our Father, to the Creator. It's time to sit and listen. Quality time. Not how many times, quantity. No, it's the quality. It's the preciousness of what you're walking away with. Yes, God cares and loves and want to hear and have us release all of our burdens. But is that the only time we're coming to release? When we come into that quiet space, we should be receiving, not only just doing all the releasing, all of the talking. Get quiet intentionally to receive whatever is to be released to you, not only what you're releasing to God. Quality time. God said there is an urgency, emergency, mandatory that we're coming to have quality, quiet, private time with our innermost being, with our Creator, with our God, with ourselves. So when I connected it the first time, God just let me know that that wasn't long enough. So again, quality time. And when I went back a couple of days later and reconnected it, and I would assume it's been 3-4 days now, I haven't heard anything. I've been driving the car regularly. So God is calling us to have quality, quiet time. Time to listen, not only be heard. Not just be doing something as a form and a fashion and a tradition or as a step-by-step method. You're doing the quality quiet time intentionally so you can quiet your mind, quiet your spirit, so you can hear. Have a blessed day.